Hello people, superhero motivation. My podcast is about tough life. Welcome to my podcast. What is tough life? In my experience, when you have a tough life, you will never mention about your tough life. We never talk about our tough life unless you need help, you get help, and you talk about tough life to your counselor. Yes, or your social worker. But you will never say, okay, I have tough life, I don't want help, I don't need help. Then you have chosen for it. We don't pretend we are in a third world country, we are in a country get social welfare, where you have the chance to get help when you need help, unless you deny help. We call it care avoidance. Yeah, you don't know how to take care of yourself and you have the right to get help and you deny help. It's your own choice. There are people, we work hard, they cannot pay the bills, they don't know what to do. Well, that's tough life. Then you are in a situation, right? Like, okay, my life is a chaos. I don't know what to do. I don't know how to start. What am I going to do? Because my life is a mess. That's what I call tough life. But when you are in a luxury situation where you just need to work, yeah, you make money, okay, because you don't want to work, you call it tough life. Then I say that is not tough life because you want to get in a situation, you want to sit on the couch, hold your hands up high till money falls from the sky. Yes, I have really spoken people who wants to earn money like that. They think, okay, yeah, I want passive income. Sit on the couch with a beer. Okay, I don't want to work. Well, say it. Just admit you don't want to work. And don't call it tough life. Because there are a lot of people who really have a tough life. They don't have parents, kids who lost their parents. Well, that is also tough life. Work hard. Don't let yourself be tempted by being passive. Because you can afford it to be passive than in your luxury situation. But don't call it tough life. We live in a rich country. If you don't live in a third world country, you live in a rich country where you can afford to be passive and you allow yourself also to be lazy. But don't call it tough. We make a choice. You make a choice to work or you don't make a choice not to work. When you have a tough life, you will say to yourself, okay, I'm going to work hard. I don't know what happened tomorrow. I pray for a better tomorrow. I pray for a better future. That's how someone would say to themselves when they really suffering, when they hope there is a better future. The same people who need to start a new life. Yes, starting a new life, leaving everything behind. I'm not just talking about refugees. How about people who needs to leave the family and start a new life again? How about that? I've spoken to people who come from foster homes, people who has past. How to rebuild your life. It's tough. How to leave your past behind without thinking about your past. Or are you stuck in the past because you think it's tough to leave the things, the memories that had caused you damage? Well, you are who you are. And like I preach about the beautiful life, the beautiful world, of course it's tough. In our life, we need to experience things to make our life better. Sometimes you have to toughen yourself to face other things in the world. You cannot always sit on the couch and just looking at the ceiling and praying, okay, I hope there's a miracle. Absolutely not. But people that don't expect you have to work on it. Even if you have to suffer, there's pain, painful memories. Life is unpredictable. When life is getting tough, when you don't know what to do, don't be afraid to ask for help. That's why we have professionals in healthcare, right? Don't have to find it for yourself. Just, okay, let me think. When I don't have a clear memory and I'm not able to think, I will ask questions. I will ask someone who has a clear mind. I will ask someone who I can trust. That's a professional. I'm not talking about professionals who needs to get paid to work. Not the private ones, but the ones who are funded by the government. Aren't they the real professionals? In my eyes, they are so underrated. I'm talking about healthcare professionals. Every healthcare professional who works in healthcare to help people because they have a tough life, I respect them. Nurses, social workers, coaches, counselors, dentists. Well, dentist counts because they help you if you have a rotten tooth. They belong to dental healthcare. People who helps other people grieving. That's tough life when you cannot leave out your past because things that happen in your life like traumas, accidents. Yeah, people never talk about it because it's taboo. To me, you cannot talk about yourself, talk about the things that's happened in your life, talk about emotions. That's tough life. When you get stuck in the past, you cannot move on because things that happen in your life like traumas. Well, that's tough life. I will admit it. But not if you are just in a luxurious situation, you come from a rich family, you come from a safe environment, and you don't want to work. Okay, but you call it tough life, that's not tough life. But now I'm talking about who really experienced the tough life in the past, like people who lost their childhood. People who just didn't decide to live with a scar. Well, that's what I just talk about. Not just because you want an easy life. There's no easy life. I'm going to disappoint you. There's no easy life. There's not the easy life you see in the movies. Yes, that's it. I hope you enjoyed the podcast. See you in the next podcast. I hope you can relate what I'm talking about. It's not because I don't respect when people say I have a tough life, but I want to know what makes your life tough. Then I can see, okay, there's something really going on in your life. And don't be afraid to ask for help. That's it. See you next time. Bye bye.